Welcome to the Dare to Share Challenge. We are live with you today, and I have another amazing guest waiting in the wings to take to the virtual stage to dare to share her truth, her story, most importantly, her vulnerability. Why? So that you see the human behind the perception, so that you realize all of these leaders that you look up to, that inspire you, they're not actually so different to you. And when we peel back the layers, and we remove all the smoke and the mirrors, we realize that beneath it all, we are all the same. And if they can do it, you can do it too. So that being said, welcome to the stage, Nicola Navone.
Thank you so much for having me, Claire. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you. It's my honor. And I always like to start, Nicola, just by asking, why are you here? What made you say yes to coming on this challenge? Because it's not your everyday nicey nicey podcast, right? Like we're getting a little bit uncomfortable over here.
Yes. I love what you're doing, Claire. I love the mission. I love this dare to share, bringing our rawness, bringing our realness to the table because why I feel it's so valuable for the world is we're bringing more connection, more intimacy among humanity through showing we're all the same. We're all human beings. We all navigate similar challenges. Yeah, albeit maybe with a different spin, a different perspective. And so I'm here to support the mission by way of sharing my own experience. And it's a little bit of an edge for me too, which I have a little bit of a kink for the edge. So I'm excited to share vulnerably what I'm working with too.
Oh, I love that so much. And for me, that's what it's all about, right? Like that's how we build a movement by others who align with those values as well, coming and being a part of it and obviously doing your own thing, but at the same time sharing that message. So I appreciate that so much, Nicola, and I'm so grateful that you're here today.
I'm so thrilled to be here. Thank you, Claire.
Are you ready? Shall we do it?
Let's do it, baby.
Let's do it. So for you guys watching, if you're new to the Dare to Share challenge, I'm going to ask Nicola just two, on the surface of it, very normal questions. But the point of this challenge is that they're not answered in a normal way. They're answered with more depth, with more vulnerability, with more edge, like Nicola said, than leaders would normally go to, so that they themselves get a little bit uncomfortable. They themselves push their own edge of where they normally play to strip back those layers so that you can really see that human behind the perception. So, Nicola, we do need to clarify, and I know we have had a very brief conversation about this, which level of vulnerability you're going to be sharing with us today. So we have two options. We have the stretchy, which is your hero's journey, right? It's your life story. It's all of your triumphs and your tribulations and how you've got to where you've got to now and the lessons that you have from that. Or we have the extreme option, which is a little bit more uncomfortable. It's things that you're navigating, experiencing, growing through in real time right now, and you're not necessarily out of the other side yet. Neither is a get out clause, just so you guys know, but we do need a direction. So, Nicola, where do you want to take us today?
Yeah, this is so exciting. And because I love me a little bit of mystery and I love me a little bit of play, and it's an edge for me. Yeah, I want to go stretchy. I want to go really vulnerable, share what I'm working with right now,
Oh,
do it in
amazing.
real time. Let's go.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. So, Nicola, question number one. We're going to ease you in nice and gently. Okay. So, what does being a real and a raw leader mean to you? And we're not just talking about in business, we're talking about the human, we're talking about the woman, the individual who's living an everyday life, right? Behind the scenes, doing everyday normal things just like we all are. But what does that realness and that rawness mean to you and look like to you in your world?
Yeah, I love this question so much because it's helping us redefine what leadership truly is. Yeah. And for me, what being a real and raw leader is removing the masks. It's showing the real human being behind the leader. And it's destigmatizing How I view it, this like patriarchal system of I have to have all the answers. I have to have it all figured out. It's okay to be messy. It's making way for our humanness to shine so that we don't feel shame around it.
Yeah.
Because we all feel both the dark and the light, both polarities at many different points. I can be a deeply inspiring, confident leader, yet I can also have times where I feel in the dumps and I don't feel good, or I have my own insecurities. And so, realness, rawness for me is owning that full scope of the human experience that is what we all are. And it's bringing that depth, bringing that range of who we are to how we show up in every aspect of our lives, in the leadership role, in our career, in the bedroom, in how we show up with friends. And of course, it's important in my work to have a sensitivity to how you're showing up in these different environments and tailoring it, but it's not losing that authenticity. And it's
Mm.
leading through authenticity. And also, an aspect that I feel is really, really important, Claire, is it's being aligned in our intention, having alignment. What is my intention with this share? And here I'm doing it today. I'm going to share something, right, that I'm working through in real time, but I feel it's always important to what is the learning? What's the intention? Am I here to teach? Am I here to share my own experience? Am I here to seek support from other people? What is my intention? And am I living in alignment in everything that I'm doing?
Mm.
Let me think if anything else comes, but this is really
So powerful. I want to touch on one thing that you said there, Nicola, that really stood out for me about the shame piece, because I talk about this a lot. And Brené Brown is someone that I aspire to a lot. And she talks so much about shame thrives in the darkness. But when we release that, and when we unlock ourselves from those shackles by sharing it and letting it out and saying, this is the thing that I'm most scared about, but there's nothing to be afraid of anymore because it's all out there, right?
Mm. I love that, Claire. And I love Brene Brown too so much. And it so resonates because, yes, like when we bring these aspects of ourselves that we have shame, these darker aspects to the light, they dissolve. It's
Yeah.
like, and I'll also speak to a mentor of mine, Shoshana Raven. She even talks about how do you take your biggest pain point and make that your biggest gold, right? Our biggest shame. And then we have nothing to hide. Then we are living straight from love, open heart. All there is more love, more connection to be received from that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Right. I need to ask you the big question because I know that we're just going to seep into it otherwise. So,
Yes.
Nicola, today, what are you willing to dare to share with us? And just so you guys watching know, I never know what any of the speakers or the guests are going to share. I never give them any guidance. They can take us wherever they want to take us, right? They have complete free reign. The only thing that I ask of them is that they do make it more stretchy than they would normally go. So that being said, Nicola, where are you going to take us?
Yes. I'm going to share today about my work is intimacy and passion and helping singles and couples have more intimacy in their relationship or relationships, have more passion. And so I'm going to share about some challenges I'm feeling in some of my loverships.
Oh, yes. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, yes. Okay. So to set it up, I want y'all just to understand a little bit about my journey so that you have a context for this challenge I'm working with. So my work is intimacy. It's around intimacy, passion, cultivating deeper states of passion that stand the test of time. Now, who did I used to be? I used to be someone who was way heavy in my feminine. So I work with masculine and feminine energetics, bringing balance to our energy so that we can cultivate these fulfilling, balanced dynamics. So I used to be heavy in my femme. I used to be a people pleaser. I used to put my partners up on pedestals. I attracted partners that took advantage of me, that didn't honor me, that didn't respect me. And I was constantly trying to seek connection from my partners. And I lost my sense of self. I lost my sense of sovereignty in relationships, my own independent expression. And I was constantly in this space of like codependence, yeah, relying on a man, my partner, yeah, a man to save me, to fix me, to make me whole, because deep down in my core, I didn't feel whole in who I am. And I had this relationship, and I will bring it home as to why, yeah, I tell this story. And so I had this relationship that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I was in a really, really toxic relationship with this guy. It was a year into our relationship. We're at our anniversary in San Francisco, and he's in the bathroom, and something draws me to his phone. And I go to his phone, and I see all these messages to all of these other women trying to connect to meet up. So he's cheating on me. Yeah, he's cheating on me after a year. And from that relationship, I'm like, okay, you're going home to New York. I'm going home the next week later. This is done. And that sparked this huge journey for me of, wow, what does this say about me that I am in relationships like these? And I did. So I paused for a moment. If anything comes, yeah, feel free to chime in, Claire. So I
Mm.
did so much deep work here to work with my attachment system, rewiring myself for secure attachment, because I was so stuck in anxious attachment. And this people pleasing energy was my feminine. And I didn't have healthy masculine energy to assert my boundaries in relationships. Because if I had that masculine, if I had that sovereignty, it's like, there were red flags in that relationship that I ignored. And if I had that sovereignty, I'd say, "Oh, okay, I'm feeling this. Yeah, I'm feeling like you're not fully present. I'm feeling like I notice you looking at other women in ways that make me feel uncomfortable. Talk to me about." And because I missed all these red flags, ignored all these red flags, was so heavy in my feminine, it's taken me a lot of work to bring my healthy masculine into my relationships, into my being. Our masculine is our sense of boundaries, right? Where our boundaries lie, it's also asserting our desires. This is what I want in the relationship. This is where I see this going. How do you feel? Yeah, this is what I desire. I want us to spend more quality time. And because I was so afraid, I was so heavy in my feminine, people pleasing, I was so afraid to upset the harmony of the relationship, I wasn't actually cultivating deep intimacy. Now, why do I share this? I share this because what I teach in my work is through a balance of our energies. Yeah. We are able to have deep intimacy because when you're balanced in your masculine and feminine, think of the masculine. And you probably already know some of this, Claire. Yeah, I know we were chatting about it and you're familiar with this work. Think of your masculine as your roots, your groundedness, that tree, right? That's holding your support system. Now, when you have a solid masculine core, when something upsets you in your relationship, your partner does something that hurts your feelings, you don't need to demand it. You don't need to give the silent treatment. You don't need to act out, hello, me, past version of me, all these things. You don't need to mother them, right? It's like, I can ask for it with ease. Ooh, that hurt my feelings, babe, when you did that. And I want to feel like your queen, and I'm not feeling like your queen right now. Yeah.
Mm.
So what can we do about it? And so you come at it with so much more ease, so much more groundedness. Your feminine can play because she knows your masculine's got you. So right now, I'm experiencing disconnection from two of my lovers. Now, this is vulnerable because I teach all about intimacy and passion, and I'm experiencing disconnection, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's interesting because this is why I never like to associate to tie my worth to anything, because you see so many people who do, and my worthiness isn't my relationships. Our capacity for intimacy lies with our capacity for intimacy with ourselves. And so what it's challenging me to do is to use my own masculine and feminine. How do I? So one of my lovers, for example, he met another woman. He wants to relate with her instead of me. Now, what I teach is how do I stay my feminine in my heart? I could close, I could shame him, I could say all the things, what, you can't wait till you see me in 3 months, or, you're ridiculous, all these mean things, make him feel guilty, make him come back. That doesn't feel good. So I use my tools and I come to my heart and I express, I want to still stay connected. It hurts me that you're with her. And I do it in humor and play. I've made some of my best content, my reels, sending poetry, using theatrics to express my love. It works sometimes, it doesn't always work. And this is the dance. And then I'll pause, but I'll say, this is the dance, Claire, for me, of my masculine and feminine, because how do I assert what it is I desire with an open heart? I want to keep relating with you. I want to take our relationship even deeper. I don't want you to relate with this other woman right now. And then how do I also know when to sink back and when to, like, if he's not receiving me, when to pause, when to go inwards? And I'm feeling, right? How does my own energy feel? Because it's such a fine line. We have to feel, when is it that our self esteem is being affected? When is it a toxic relationship that we need to end? Yeah. And when is it like, okay, I can't control this, but I don't want to leave anything on the table because I want to live fully, because that's what I came here to do. So I'm going to share from my heart because it feels good. And I like to give the gift of my expression without a get, no matter how it's received. And then I flow from there.
Nicola, oh my gosh, so much is coming up for me right now. I absolutely love your energy. I have to say, you are amazing. But the thing that's really coming through for me, and I think you mentioned this near the beginning, is how this feels edgy because it's not going against what you do, right? But I think this is where so many of us get stuck is, let's say we're a business coach and we're having a low cash month. And then we suddenly feel that we're inadequate and we're unable to help people because in our own business, we've attached our sense of worth to the financials that we're receiving. And I feel that this is exactly what you're saying within your realm. You know, it's your relation, and it doesn't make you immune to life. And for me, this is the message coming through here, is that just because we help others with certain things, it doesn't mean that we're immune to having our own hurdles and mountains and lessons through those very things ourselves.
Yes. I love that because it's so true, and it's allowing ourselves to be human, to be whole, to showing all aspects. And it's such a deep topic, Claire, because
Yeah.
I feel like this is even pulling out, it's this codependence that we have in the world to our identities, to our jobs, to how we define ourselves. And it's releasing that and allowing the only constant in life is change. So, how do we allow ourselves to be human, to have desires, to work towards our goals, but to also know that we can't control other people? We can't control external circumstances. We can just control how we're showing up.
Mm.
And if we're being authentic and we're being true to ourselves and we're doing the best that we can, nothing external can define us or take away our worth or our value or our divinity.
Staying in that personal power, no matter what your external situations in any moment. I think that for me is the strongest thing that has come through from your Dare to Share. This is so powerful and it resonates so much with me. I hope you guys watching that it resonates with you as well. I would really urge you to watch this again, because I think through Nicola's story, there are so many aspects and threads that you can pull out of that. But for me, I know it really resonates with my my own journey of having to detach my worth from external validation, whether that was in romantic relationships, whether it was in clients and money I was receiving, but always having it attached to something external of myself. And your lesson here is that we have to have that in ourselves inherently first.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the inner work. And that's what creates magnetism, whether it's in career and magnetizing more money, more clients, whether it's magnetizing more incredible lovers, or if you're in a monogamous relationship, continuing to magnetize your lover. We have to be able to go on both ends of the spectrum. You have to be able to completely disgust your partner to really turn them on. Yeah, there has to be times where you're going to really frustrate them if you want them to deeply love you, not just be in that like middle ground, safety ground, but to
Like
really
where they can
feel
see
all
all
the
of you.
yes.
I love that. And I think you can also bring that back to business, right? Like
Mm,
you have to be willing to share all of, and I talk about this a lot, like the whole picture, not just the successes, not just the things that you're proud of, but like the things that you're not so proud of, the things that you feel that shame around, like we said earlier, like sharing all of it so that your clients see all of you as well. I love how we can just, this can link to so many different aspects. Nicola, you are amazing. I would love for you to please tell everyone about them. Obviously we've talked a bit, but about the magic that you bring into the world and how they can come and get into your world.
Yes. Thank you so much, Claire. So Instagram is the best way to get in touch. And my Instagram is at Nicola Navone. And to come into my work, I work one-on-one. So I do private mentorship. I also do private mentorship with couples who want to go in a couples journey together. And I also have an amazing group coaching program I am so jazzed about. It's my first group program and it launches October 15th. And it's this journey of inner union. So it's the inner work of how do we really open ourselves, expand ourselves to be able to call in deep intimacy, call in deep passion, working with bringing harmony to our masculine and feminine energies in all aspects of relationship, all aspects of life, so that we can then create what it is we desire. So through our inner union, inner balance, we create more balance in relationships.
I love that. And we'll put all of those links in the show notes below. So if you're multitasking, don't worry, you can come back, you can head over into Nicola's world and go and message her, tell me how this episode resonated with you. Share it with someone who you know this is going to benefit, and spread the love by rating us, by sharing us, by spreading the word about the Dare to Share movement. Nicola, thank you so much for joining me today, for sharing your own real and raw leadership, for pulling back the curtains, and for showing us the human behind the perception.
Such a pleasure, Claire.
Thank you. And thank you guys for watching.